without humanity, Marea Olafson leads with trust, perfect strangers, conducting business with her pottery studio, the honor system. The next time you're in Saskatchewan, Canada, stop by Freba Pottery on Highway 16. If you see something you want, take it home with you. It's like cash or a check.
Thank you so much, Marea Olafson, for joining us here in AwareNow to share this space, this time, and your story. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Allie.
So here's the thing. We often talk about acts of kindness, but today let's talk about acts of trust. Marea, let's go back to 2003 and the trip you took to Denman Island in British Columbia. Please share the story of the studio you found at the top of a winding driveway that inspired Freba Pottery.
So my cousins and myself were touring around Denman Island, visiting different pottery studios, and there was a sign, and we just kept going up, and it was a very long driveway, but we got to the top, and there was this parking spot and this beautiful building. So it's like, okay, let's go on in. So when we're in there, we realized that there was nobody manning the store. There were some other people there, but they were just, again, some visitors just like us. And there was 3 rooms, and in the 3rd room was a bowl of cash, and instructions, and a locked box for credit cards, and instructions on how to purchase. And it was like really? Like, this is how it is? Wow. Mm-hmm. So of course I had to buy a piece just to experience that, and also to kind of a thank you to the artist, in the sense that you trusted me enough to pay, and this piece is going to carry that story through. So yeah, it was just, and as a result of that trip out at Denman Island, I decided when I returned back to Saskatchewan, I would take up wheel throwing pottery, and I haven't looked back since.
That is awesome. So what is it about making pottery that you personally love so much?
The idea to take a lump of clay and turn it into something that can be used. So like I make functional pieces, and to know that this was just something that came out of the ground and now I can hold in my hands and drink from and use is so key. I've always loved pottery. I feel using handmade items allows me to connect with the artist in a different way than just viewing, but now I get to view it, I get to use it. So I hope that when my pieces go out into the world, that gives the same to the users.
Yeah, and I love that thought about that reality of this connection, this sense of connection, human connection through these vessels.
Yeah.
So what started as, let's go back a little bit. What started as a pottery pop-up stand on Highway 16 became a highway store with the purchase of your Ama's 1919 Heritage Farmhouse, which is the home of your studio. Will you talk for a moment about your sales goals? I found these very interesting, that you set and met, that have nothing to do with dollars.
So in 2013, we created, and you can kind of see that little store back there in the background, the highway store. And I had 3 goals. 1, that somebody would stop and purchase when I was not out there. 2, a motorcyclist would stop and purchase. Highway 16 is very busy in the summer, specifically with motorbikes. But I mean, it's not something that on a motorbike you want to carry pottery, but that was a goal. And the 3rd goal was to have a semi stop and purchase pottery. And so probably within the first 2 weeks, we came home from swimming lessons, and there was a napkin that somebody had taken from their vehicle, wrote a beautiful note on, tucked the money in, and set it in the spot where the pottery was. So first goal accomplished. And so then I made a sign saying, "I'm not here, sorry I missed you, still can purchase." I'm like, it can work on Highway 16, the honor system. The second was a motorcyclist, and that first summer I did have 2 guys stop, and the first guy said, I knew when we saw the signs that we were going to be stopping at this pottery studio, and he purchased something to take home to his wife. They were going across Canada. And then about year 3 is when I had a semi-stop and purchase pottery, and then also order some pottery as well. So within the first 3 years, those 3 goals were met.
So awesome. Those are the goals that we need to start adopting, I feel like, as society. So you run your studio, as you mentioned, on the honor system. You trust people to pay for the pottery they wish to purchase by leaving cash, check, sending you e-transfers. What has been the most rewarding thing about conducting business in this way?
I can continue working in my studio and not have to be out at the store, so that's helpful for me. But also I feel that when people are shopping, I mean, the store isn't very big. So when you're out there, yeah, you visit, but then when people get into that shopping mode, you're like kind of like hanging over them. So I like that people get that feeling of being able to shop by themselves. And I had a lady from Alaska stop who would not have, if I would have had store hours or a locked door, she would not have been able to purchase pottery when she drove by because she was just driving through. The other thing is just people write comments and say, thank you so much for this experience, and to be able to know that people trust and people are good. We really are good. It's just that we somehow have set up these systems that make us question that sometimes. I've always felt that if somebody really needs my pottery and can't purchase it, and for some reason needed to take it, then it was meant to be. At least they have a little piece of my art and they can carry it with them, and maybe life gets better for them. I don't know. It just makes my heart warm.
Mm-hmm. It makes my heart warm just hearing of the story. So let's conclude this way. A teacher of arts and education for 25 years, you spent the last 4 teaching half-time and pursuing your passion the other half in your pottery studio in Saskatchewan, Canada. So doing what you're doing, the way that you're doing it, it takes a lot of trust, not only of others, but of yourself. So my last question for you today is, for those who have a passion that they want to pursue, but are having a hard time trusting their ability to successfully pursue it, what advice do you have?
When I started teaching, I was passionate about teaching and just got into it, and I was passionate throughout my whole entire career. But as I was in my career teaching art, I found this passion of pottery. And I've always said to my students, like, what are you doing right now? Like, don't wait till you graduate, but like, what are you doing right now? So I took my own advice and went, okay, don't wait till you retire. What are you doing right now? And I trusted that the passion that led me through my teaching career would lead me through my pottery career and my passion. And I took the risk, and it is as rewarding as it was teaching. And I'm not in it for the financial gain. I'm in it for following my passion, for doing something I love, and knowing that I took the risk and nothing held me back, and I'm not going to regret that I am following my passion is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. And what an education that your story leading by example gives to all of us. Thank you so much for taking this time to share your story, to share your beautiful pottery, because it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you just for helping all of us become a bit more aware now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.